Hey everyone, it's Near, and recently I've been playing this game called Fields of Mistria, and it's kind of this Stardew Valley like farming sim type game. Um, and I know what you're thinking, like, oh, another farming sim, but I really kind of like this one so far. It's still in early access, and it doesn't have like a ton of content, I guess, but it has a few little things that I think are really fun and interesting. I think it takes a lot of inspiration from Animal Crossing because you can catch bugs in the game, which I think is very exciting. And the fishing mechanic is a lot like Animal Crossing's. I think it's basically the same thing. You can also dive for stuff, like the way in New Horizons where you can dive in those little spots of the ocean. You can also do that in this game too. And I think that's really fun. And you can like get artifacts and fish and sea life type things, but yeah. But so because it's a Stardew Valley like game, usually you have lots of little villagers you can meet, and I've kind of been just trying to decide like which villager do I want to have as my partner, I guess, right? Because in these games there's always like marriage candidates and whatnot. And so I've kind of been between Hayden and March, right? And so today this drawing is going to be of Hayden. And it's kind of strange that if I had a nickel for every time I played a farming sim and the person that I chose to romance was a man whose best friend was a chicken, I guess at this point I'd have 2 nickels, right? And as the saying goes, it's strange that that's happened twice. It's not a lot, but it's strange that it's happened twice already. But yeah, so Hayden, he is a guy who likes animals, right? He is the character who you buy farm animals from. He has a pet chicken, Henrietta, who I have beautifully depicted up on his shoulder. I think she came out so cute in the end. But yeah, I mean, maybe this is residual feelings from when I played Stardew Valley, because in Stardew Valley I always romance Shane because I don't know, I like him, I relate to him, and he likes his chickens, and I love chickens, and so yeah, I think right now I'm kind of leaning towards Hayden or March, but March kind of starts off as a character who's a little bit more distrustful of you. He doesn't really like you, and he's kind of mean to you, whereas Hayden's just like super nice from the get-go. But yeah, so we'll see where it goes. I mean, right, like I said, the game's in early access, so right now you can only get up to, I want to say, 4 hearts with each companion. In November, they're supposed to have a big update that's going to increase the hearts, the maximum hearts, from 4 to 6. And I think I'm correct that right now you can only have 4, and that it will be increased to 6. I mean, I know, once the game is done, finished, you're supposed to be able to get up to, I think, 10 hearts. I think very similar to Stardew Valley system-wise, but yeah. So we'll see. I mean, by the time I post this, it will probably be November. It'll probably be in early November. I am recording this as of October 31st. I guess it's Halloween today. But yeah, so we'll see how it turns out. But I mean, I really like the game so far. It's pretty chill. It's very cute aesthetically. It's got a very, almost pastel-y, kind of cute pixel vibe. It reminded me of like some Pokemon games, kind of like, when I was younger, I played Diamond and Pearl. That was the generation I kind of grew up with Pokemon. And so the art style, or I guess the game's art style, the pixels kind of remind me of that. The game also kind of has like this secondary art style that obviously takes inspiration from like 90s anime, and it kind of looks very like Sailor Moon-y, but also kind of reminds me of like the author who does like Ranma 1/2, and I think Inuyasha. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit too, but it's kind of like that era, and that's what they do for like the promotional art. They have like an animated opening that's in that style. The character portraits are drawn in that style, and I think it's very cute. I think the game has a lot of potential. Oh, and the characters, I think in general, are really nice. I do like it a bit better in than in Stardew Valley, because they kind of have a lot of personality, and they talk about things going on in town. and they'll mention each other's birthdays, and if you're looking for something on a quest, they'll mention it. And so I really like the characters so far, and even the characters who are not like, I guess romanceable in the sense that they can be your partner. The people who are just living in the town, they all have fun personalities, and they're all really interesting and cool too. So I think that that's a really fun thing. That it feels like all the characters are really well fleshed out in this game, and I think that we'll only see more of that, right? Like as the game furthers in its development, because like I said, it's still in early access and you still can't get to know everyone super well. But yeah, I guess my other favorite character in this game is like this little kid. I think his name is Luke, and he is so sweet. He loves bugs, and he's basically the one who gives you a bug net so that you can start catching bugs. And I think he's just adorable. He's like one of the little kids around town. All the little kids have these like fun personalities. And yeah, I just think it's so fun. It's so sweet. And I did kind of mess up with this drawing. It was supposed to be a short, right? So recently I learned that Clip Studio Paint has this function where you can just record a time lapse straight from straight up, like just straight from the thing. And it basically will export into a GIF where you can have it, I think it's between like 15 seconds to a minute, and like 30 and 45 being intervals in there, something like that, right? And it kind of just turns it into this GIF where you see it basically your whole drawing, like your whole process, right? And it's super cool, and I just learned about it, and the intention was for this to be done with the time lapse on, right? But for this to be done with the time lapse, that way I could have it to post as a short. And that's why the size of the image is a bit weird. Like as you can see, it's very like long and skinny, but it's because it was supposed to be for a phone, right? Like for a short. I think it's like 19:6 aspect ratio, or maybe it's the other way around, 6:19, something like that. But yeah, and so as I am doing the finishing touches and like writing my name on his bicep, it's like I go to export the time lapse, and it's like I hadn't even started it. And that's a bummer. But in my defense, I did this pretty late at night. Like most of my drawings are done at like between 7 and 2 a.m. I don't know, I guess I kind of stay up late. But yeah, so that's a bummer. But thank God I had OBS recording, just because I thought, well, you know, I hadn't fully decided if I wanted to make this like a long form video or if I wanted to have it a short. But I'm kind of thinking I might want to do both, because shorts are really good for finding an audience, right? Because right now my channel's still super small, and basically I get like almost no views. But the shorts get a lot more views, right? And so I thought, oh, well, it would be great to have this as a short, to kind of put it out there. A lot more people will see it. It'll advertise my channel better. Hopefully get more viewers. And then I didn't even do it. So that's a bummer. But I'm still going to try and edit it into a short anyways, because I might as well. And, you know, I still want to like get my art out there. Even if no one sees it. But yeah, so that was a lesson learned. Always double check the time lapse. Yeah. Another thing I wanted to mention is I really kind of like how her feathers turned out, Henrietta's feathers. Oh, his chicken is named Henrietta, by the way, and she's this very cute and like pretty chicken who obviously thinks very highly of herself. And has like a pretty kind of reddish pink bow. And I just thought this would be such a cute drawing. And I thought this was a really cute pose with her just kind of standing up there looking like all cute and happy. But yeah, so that's Henrietta the chicken. I like the way her feathers kind of turned out, especially on her neck. I think it got like a good texture. I've been trying to like do better with adding texture to my drawings. I feel like I'm starting to not like the way my drawings look, because I feel like they're flat and they don't have enough like texture to them. But I'm happy with the way this one came out. I feel like with the I think I used either like the gouache brush or a pastel chalk brush, but yeah, I used something like textured for the shading. I think it came out really nice, and I think it makes it a lot more like visually interesting, even in just like a subtle way, than using like a regular square brush like I usually do, or like an airbrush to do these like soft shadows. But yeah, and so then I just kind of start adding the lighting. I ended up doing a kind of like light blue shading, just to give it a bit more depth and make it a bit more interesting, and to hopefully make it pop a bit more. I think it looks really nice in the end. I think it did help everything kind of pop, and I think it helped make it not look so flat. But yeah, so I'm still experimenting with my style and trying to figure out how I like to draw and what I like to do and what my process is. But yeah, so I mean, I guess it's all a work in progress, and hopefully as I like continue to post these videos, I'll continue to improve, and you know, I'm hoping that this channel will be like a log of my art journey. But yeah, with that being said, this is the final image. I think it came out really nice, even though the framing is a bit odd, but like I said, because it was intended to be for the phones, it was intended to be a short. But yeah, I mean, I think it still turned out really nice. I love the way the lighting came out. I love the way Henrietta the chicken came out. I think she looks so cute and so happy and like a little prideful, but like in a good way, up on his shoulder. But anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Yeah, have a good day, y'all. Bye.